From far and wide, Oilers fans, this is Dolynny TV. And welcome back to another Edmonton Oilers discussion here on Dolynny TV, guys. I'm your host, Tyson Dolynny, as we get set for this discussion following a 4-2 Oilers loss to the Vancouver Canucks. No, it's not Elias Pettersson is God. No, it's McDavid doesn't stack up. No, it's not the Oilers defense crapped the bed. No, it's not that Mikko Koskinen should have had 2 of those goals. No, it's not that the offense didn't try hard enough. No. We're going on a different topic away from that Canucks game. You already know where my feelings lie with that little bit of an intro. However, what I'm talking about today is why I believe the Pacific Division will be won in Canada. What does that mean? I'm saying that when it comes down to deciding who's going to take the top 4 or 5, however it works out, playoff spots in the Pacific Division, and let alone the first seed, of course, winning the actual division itself, it all comes down to the 3 Canadian teams this year. And it's as simple as the math says at this point of the season. Right now, all the teams in the Pacific Division are at least through 32 games. Some are through 34, one is through 35, and one is through 36. So the math, within 4 games everybody is a little bit wide open. Mind you, Vancouver and Arizona, bottom basement dwellers on the bottom half of the division at least. At 36 games in 6th spot for Vancouver, 34 or 32 games in 7th spot for Arizona. Now what I mean by going through Canada is it as simple as this, right? Right now the Calgary Flames are up at 46 points, top of the division, tied for the top seed in the Western Conference. The Flames have been absolutely surprising everybody. I think early on when the Flames didn't really know what they were doing with their goaltending, it was ride David Rittich. It was the same philosophy as the Oilers, ride Mikko Koskinen. But now all of a sudden Mike Smith's kind of elevated his play, just like Cam Talbot kind of has elevated his play. So it's a matter of what's going on with these Canadian teams, where they are in the standings right now, and what they shape up to be the rest of the season. So let's go kind of review the Vancouver Canucks, what I learned last night. Because I haven't watched much Canucks action this year, and realistically, they've been a tale of about 3 or 4 different teams this season from what I've read on Twitter. It comes down to each Canadian team having a dynamic duo that is, I don't think, matched down in the States in the Pacific Division as well. In terms of young talent, in terms of dynamic, just all around get it done kind of guys. I don't think there's a Connor McDavid. I don't think there's a Johnny Gaudreau. I don't think there's an Elias Pettersson down there in the Pacific Division in the States. Mind you, yes, Vegas has some good guys. LA has some good guys. Anaheim has some good guys. San Jose, you know what? You can argue that they've got probably the most talented roster. Yes, I'm not going to deny San Jose. They're probably top echelon, and that's probably why they're in 2nd place. Anaheim, they've got some good guys too, but just a roster that I really don't like overall in terms of the long stretch, although they have guys that have done it for a long time in this league in the playoffs as well. So maybe hand some credit where credit's due. I don't know. Let's get back to the Canadian topics, however. The Canucks, like I said, Elias Pettersson, Brock Besser, but they're more than that. They have guys, and the guys that get the spotlight a lot of the time when they're not producing, Bo Horvat and Jake Virtanen. There's other guys to that roster as well. Right now they're without Sven Baertschi. There are just guys that are drivers on that team that don't get the headlines that Elias Pettersson and Brock Besser get because they're dominating so much. But there are guys that on that team are absolute drivers, and you can't forget about the back end and the goaltending and Jacob Markstrom, who I guess, like I said, this is about how it'll be won in Canada. It's not necessarily that it will be won in Canada. So with Jacob Markstrom, he finds his game, loses his game. He's a soft number 1, and he's kind of toss him up, juggle it around, and you'll see what you get every single game kind of deal. So same thing with the Oilers and the Flames. You're not really sure what you're going to get to go to the goaltending any single night. So it's a crapshoot there. Defensively for the Oilers and Canucks, it's kind of a crapshoot. Flames are the only real 100% solid contender for the #1 spot out of the Canadian teams at this point. But what I mean more specifically is these teams, what I was mentioning is the dynamic duos. And those dynamic duos, Draisaitl McDavid, Gaudreau-Monahan, you can almost add a triple threat in terms of Lindholm as well. And then you've got Pettersson and Besser. What those dynamic duos do for these three Canadian clubs is elevate them so much higher. They win games on their own. That's essentially what it comes down to. And the way the West or the Pacific will be won in Canada is essentially if an American team wants to win the Pacific Division, they're going to have to beat up the Canadian teams the rest of the schedule home. That's the only way they can make a run to the #1 spot, or even more specifically, hold a playoff spot. Right now, like I said, 36 points for the Vancouver Canucks, 46 for the Flames. 10 points separating first from sixth in our Pacific Division. It was mentioned a couple of times yesterday from what I saw. Everybody's saying, oh, wait a minute, hold on. The Pacific Division is the division to watch in the NHL this year. Well, I have just spent the past few minutes here arguing, no duh, it absolutely is. Because, like I said, the dynamic duos in the Canadian teams, clubs, sides, whatever, it is just so fantastic to watch game in, game out. And as I said, for the American teams, they have to dominate the Canadian teams, and that is the only way they'll make it. Yeah, they can dominate each other all they want. If they want to dominate south of the border, whatever. Canada will have a field day, still dominate them, and guess what? The Canucks, Flames, Oilers all make the playoffs in that scenario. It's a scary scenario because, I mean, I don't think we could all imagine a case in which the Oilers, Flames, and Canucks have all made the playoffs in a long, long while. But let's go back to the standings. 36 points for the Vancouver Canucks. Guess what? They are tied with Minnesota for quote-unquote 6th place right outside of the wild cards. 3rd place in the wild card race, I mean more generally would be accepted. So the Canucks are 2 points or 2 wins out of a playoff spot. Essentially, they need to win twice more, Edmonton lose twice more, or Golden Knights lose twice more, and guess what? The Vancouver Canucks, right there with the big boys, and they would be right in there. The Oilers, well, does the streak continue under Hitchcock, or is the defense going to start getting leaky? I've already kind of gotten in there and said, hey, look, we need to make that trade for Colton Parayko or somebody else like a Jake Muzzin from the LA Kings and make ourselves worthwhile looking at in the playoff tree earlier into April. But hold on. That also means that for American teams, they'd have to go against Calgary. And Calgary, I mean, you have no clue what you're going to see out of Calgary in 60 minutes. Although in the past 10 games, you're going to probably see domination. I mean, you might be beating up on them and then all of a sudden take them 2 minutes and they'll crack your skulls on the ice wide open with goals in the net. Like, it is absolutely mind-numbing to be sitting there watching an Oilers game and then watch the Flames highlights and be like, okay, yes, in the summertime when they traded for Lindholm and Hanifin, I said Lindholm was going to get 70 points in the year. No doubt about it. I thought I had a good feeling. Did I think Calgary would be the best club in the Western Conference? No. No, I did not. Not a friggin' chance. Being an Oilers fan, a little bit homer on that. But let's be serious. The goaltending was kind of still a question mark. Mike Smith, what are you going to get out of him? The defense, well, not that bad. They're actually pretty good. But the forwards, hey, if Lindholm didn't hold up, if a couple guys didn't hold up their end of the bargain, oh my God, this team could be an absolute disaster. But this team has been unreal, the Calgary Flames. And the Oilers are just trying to keep pace. Just trying to look like not the inferior Alberta club. Right now, both clubs are playing fantastic hockey, don't get me wrong. The Oilers are absolutely dominating compared to, the last 12 years? Yeah, you know what? The Oilers are doing damn good. It's December and we're holding a playoff spot. Okay, and we're holding it for days in a row, not one day for the first time since November, and we won't hold it again until next season when we win the first game of the year, right? So the Canadian teams, however their weaknesses be, however their strengths be, are so pivotal this year, in particular, to the Pacific Division. For the American teams to take 4 of 5 or 5 of 5, obviously 5 of 5 I'd say is a write-off. 4 of 5 is a stretch. Arizona, maybe if they get hot, if they find a goaltender, I don't know. But for the American teams to take 3 of 5 or 4 of 5 or 3 of 4 playoff spots or 3 of 3, whatever it's going to work out to with the Central Division, they're going to need to beat up on these Canadian clubs and beat them all to hell. And I'm here to argue, if it's going to be the American clubs, like I said, it's going to be won in Canada. But the other battle is it's going to be won by Canada. And I feel that's going to be a lot better of a chance. And honestly, chips in. I will put my money on the Oilers or the Flames to take the division by the end of the year. I feel when it gets down to the nitty-gritty, these two teams are best suited to play their hockey against the Pacific Division, right? The Flames, everybody's just being rough and tumbly with them this year. And the Oilers, they've got the identity line. They are ready to battle. And the Canucks, you know what? Skill, stealth, skill. They will kill you. They are lethal. Watch out. I'm scared. Literally, I'm scared of Brock Besser after watching last night's Oilers game against the Canucks in which they fell 4-2. I've already explained my feelings on that. Guys, I think I've made my points clear. I feel scrambled. It's been a scrambly day. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you sit on it. Talk to me in the comments section below. I'll try and make sense down there too. I will catch you guys in the next one. This has been Dolynny TV. I am up on out of here.